I don't see 20-year-olds buying houses right now, which is a little scary because, is Long Island ever going to be affordable again? I don't think so, bro.
I think, again, this is the calm before the storm. Interest rates get into the 5s. Interest rates are lower. Home values are going to go up. So if you're going to buy, get ready to buy now. Because I bought a co-op back in 2014 for $90,000.
Sheesh.
I sold it a couple of years later for 168. Co-ops in that community now are going for 200 plus. Like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. One risk taker should change the game for that family.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth. That's it. One risk taker in that family can change the whole game.
Welcome back to Real Estate and Chill. I'm your host, Kevin Iglesias, associate real estate broker. As always, $1 million episode. We got the man himself, the mortgage pro, Matthew Nieves in the building. Let's go!
What's going on, Kev? Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, man. What the heck? Where's all the energy, bro? Come on, you're drinking an energy drink. High energy. Come
Let's
on.
go!
There you go. Drop down and give me 20 push-ups, bro. 20.
I'm not doing that. No. You should have been at the gym with me this 5 o'clock in the morning.
Bro,
Where were you?
I was at my own gym.
Oh, okay.
But give us a little insight, bro. Who you are.
All right, my name is
background.
Matthew Nieves. First and foremost, I'm a father. I'm a family man. I've been doing mortgages for 14 years. I own and operate my own branch with my business partner, Jeffrey Case, and Parental for Continual Mortgage. And I'm here to give you some light on the mortgage news. And, you and I have been working together how long now? About 2 years?
Like 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years too long.
2 years.
No, 2 years of great bliss. He paid me to say that.
Check is going to bounce. But all right, let's dive into everything, man. There's so much changes happening in the industry, in the market, for agents, for buyers. What are you seeing in the mortgage world? Because now rates are starting to trickle down. Hope.
So let's talk about it, right? So the news always, inflates things, right? But interest rates have come down. And because of that, we're seeing hope. We're seeing hope not only for buyers who've been sitting on the sidelines, we're seeing hope for people who've been in their house, gridlocked, not wanting to sell their home because interest rates are high, but also seeing hope for loan officers and for real estate agents.
Well, not only that, but hope for refinances as well.
Hope for refinances. I think more refinances are going to come later on down the line when we see more of an interest rate cut, because that's where you're really going to see the true benefit. But listen, I'm already seeing refinances. My applications are ticked up because there's people who need cash, right? Money talks. And people need that money to live comfortably, pay down bills. They've been marrying the house and dating the rate for way too long. So now it's time to put that equity to good use.
All right, we'll talk about equity, but let's talk about when the rates come down, what usually happens?
When the rates come down,
yes,
we see more interest in refinancing. We see buyers, again, who've been on the sidelines, who've been waiting for these interest rates to come down, and they jump back into the game.
Well, yeah, because now money is more affordable and you start to get a bigger buyer pool looking for houses, which means more bidding wars.
So this is the calm before the storm, right?
It is.
This is the calm before. I've been calling it COVID 2.0. When interest rates hit the 5s, we're not there yet, but when interest rates hit the 5s, it's going to be COVID 2.0.
Well, without the COVID, though.
Without the COVID. I'm talking about lines out the door to go look at open houses. Not 5 to 10 offers on homes. We're looking at 15 to 25 offers on homes. And a lot of these buyers they're not understanding that, interest rates are low, I'm going to get a better deal. But realistically, now you got more competition out there. And here out in Long Island, there's only so much they could build. So our supply will always be low and the demand will always be high.
Without a doubt. I mean, we're the suburbs of New York City.
People want to live here.
Yeah, you get more for your buck. You get more for your money out here. A property out there in Queens, Brooklyn, over $1 million, and it's like a shoebox. Out here, you get acreage, you get trees, you can breathe better, you get oxygen.
Think about it. We have quick transit to the city. We have amazing schools. We have beaches. We got parks. We got everything out here on Long Island, right? So who doesn't want to live here?
Plus, when you go on the Long Island Expressway, it's like, Super Mario Kart, dodging the potholes and everything. So it's entertaining out here.
There you go.
The lifestyle.
That's it.
All right. So look, the rates were in the 7, 8s. Now they're tripling down into the 6s, high 5s.
We're seeing low 6s right now. We're seeing low sixes right now, and for some, that's a huge benefit to refinance. For some, like you hit it on the head, affordability. Some people just can't afford a mortgage, in the sevens. Some people can't afford a mortgage in the low sixes.
But let's talk about that because, like you said, people pay a lot to the headlines, right?
Yep.
And they're so focused on the negativity that they're like, maybe right now is not the best time to buy, and I should just wait. But we both
What are you waiting for?
Exactly.
What are you waiting for?
We both know those people who were waiting on the sidelines. Let's just say from COVID when the rates were 2-3%, because I speak to them all the time. They're like, "Oh man, I should have bought when there was 2-3%."
Of course.
And now it's doubled, tripled.
That's it. That's it.
You can never time the market.
You can never time the market, and if you're gonna buy, make sure you can afford it. But if you can afford it, go and buy that piece of property now, because that piece of property is going to be such a substantial investment for you in the future.
And don't bring your parents to the inspections, okay? They just kill the deals. Sincerely, all real estate agents. Thank you.
That part.
It's true, though.
It's true fact.
Look, most parents purchased their homes, like 30, 40 years ago, let's just say? Or maybe even more.
And they bought it for $150,000.
Right.
And they got all their closing costs rolled in.
Bro, I've seen parents, kill deals over, this doorknob is too loose, or...
We want a credit.
Yeah, for the littlest things. Oh no, the door's not closing correctly. It's like, are you serious? These are all cosmetic things.
They don't get it. They don't get it. And some of them do, right? Some of them comprehend the market now as it is. But a lot of people, and listen, I'm a parent, and we all want to protect our children, but they just don't comprehend. When you bought a house is not the same as when we're buying houses now. If you bought a house pre-COVID, it's not the same as buying a house now.
Without a doubt. I
mean, the cycles are completely different.
I mean, I bought my first property in 2019. I didn't tell anybody because I'm just you and I are very similar. I like to just jump, take the risk, not tell anybody I'm taking the risk. I'll learn. If I lose, cool. It's a learning process. They say that your biggest losses, the most expensive losses teach you the most lessons in life.
There's a lesson in everything.
Exactly. So I didn't want somebody in my ear saying, "Oh no," and the house was like a full gut. But I was like, you know what? I'm getting it at a good price, and I can afford it. And obviously, the rates were in the 4s back then.
Let me ask you a question. 4s. You still have that house now?
Of course. And the equity in that house has increased significantly.
If you don't mind me asking, what did you buy it for?
I bought it for 3 and change.
Okay.
Now it's worth close to 6.
And you bought it when?
2019.
2019.
Before everything happened.
It hasn't even been 10 years, and you got about double the equity?
Basically. But that's
right there.
That's the important part of not timing the market and just timing the market, right? Not listening to other people's advice. And I'm not saying, look, everybody's wrong. I just didn't want somebody in my ear. You know how parents are. They try to protect you. They try to look out for you. Oh, this is going to cost too much. This is going to cost. But I was like, you know what?
There's no fault to them, though.
Not at all.
Again, I'm a parent. He's a parent. We're always going to look to take care of our children and protect them, right? But if they're not the professionals, then they can't speak like the professionals.
Yeah, I mean, and look, when I bought, I had the best real estate agent on my side to help me buy the house.
I wasn't a real estate agent.
No, it was me. I helped myself. But again, I didn't want somebody in my ear telling me, oh, this needs too much work. I knew how much work it needed, but I saw the potential in the home.
You believed in yourself.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Exactly. And sometimes you got to take the risk. You got to take the leap of faith. And we tell people all the time, the best time to buy is when you're financially ready. Doesn't matter what the rates are. Doesn't matter what the noise is.
If you can afford it.
If you can afford it.
Get it. And we're not saying go buy a house and live paycheck to paycheck. That's not what we're saying.
There's no point of having a house if you're going to be house broke.
Correct.
There's no point of having a house if you're going to be stressed out, frustrated, angry all the time. There's no point of buying a house. A house should bring you peace. It's a lifestyle. It's something that you should be doing for your future.
And let's take a couple of steps back and talk about the parents who like to voice their opinions, right? They're voicing their opinions, and they bought that house 30 years ago, and they're still living in it today, right? Now, our generation, people who are buying houses now, the house you're buying is probably not going to be your forever home, but it's going to be a stepping stone for your forever home, and that's where you have to come in and realize that, right? Because these parents are trying to tell their kids, buy the house, you're going to live in it forever, but that's not going to be the case.
No, it's not. Again, it's like you said, it's you buy the house, you build equity. If you want to rent that house out, buy something else, upsize, you can do that. You can take the equity out, use that, buy another house, and keep that same plane going and going and going and going.
If you were to sell that house right now, you have to put down.
Hey. IRS might be hearing this, okay? Don't check my pockets, bro. We might have to cut that out. But all right, let's talk about that though, because one thing that I'm seeing, like first-time home buyers now, I'm not seeing, like I bought my house, when I was 28? I'm not seeing 28-year-olds or people in their 20s buying houses right now.
I think
I'm
the average
later 30s, mid to late 30s now.
Average is like 37, 38. That's
which is
like
crazy. We're talking
right
about
to buy houses.
From 2019 to 2020, 2021, we're up to 2025
Look at the cost of living.
I know, everything's increased.
How much was milk when you bought your house? Well, the same thing
25
as your
cents.
house. It doubled, right? So everything's gone up. And yeah, a lot of these people are making a lot more money, but a lot of these younger generations have 15 different subscriptions to 15 different things, and they don't even know what they're paying
Hulu,
for.
Lululemon. I don't even know if they have a subscription, but it sounded correct. No, I don't. Anthony would know. He's got Lululemon out right now with the Adidas.
There you go.
But look, I don't see 20-year-olds buying houses right now, which is a little scary because, is Long Island ever going to be affordable again? I don't think so, bro.
I think, again, this is the calm before the storm. Interest rates get into the 5s. Interest rates are lower. Home values are going to go up. So if you're going to buy, get ready to buy now, because when interest rates drop, home values are going to skyrocket, and you're going to be either, forced to move off of Long Island or rent for the rest of your life.
It's true. And when I mean affordable, I mean like, are people in their 20s ever going to see those 300, 250, 350 price points?
Yeah, on a co-op. That's it.
Oh man, people hate co-ops. We'll talk about co-ops in a little bit.
I'm doing co-ops now. A bunch of co-ops to all these people. And listen, I'm looking at I bought a co-op back in 2014 for $90,000.
Sheesh.
I sold it a couple of years later for 168. Co-ops in our community now are going for 200 plus. Like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
I know. Look, when I got started, there were houses in Massac Beach, Shirley for $60,000, $70,000. Now those houses are selling for over $700,000, $600,000. Yep. Even condos in Middle Island, like they were like $120,000, $95,000.
That's where I bought my co-op.
Oh, really?
That's where I bought my co-op, yeah.
Bro, that's not a co-op. That's a condo.
No, I bought a co-op out in Middle Island.
Oh, I thought you meant like in Artist Lake.
No, Lake Point.
Oh, Lake Point. Oh, right there behind.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you can't find anything at that price point anymore.
Nope.
It's just everything keeps going up and up and up. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people in their 20s, like when we purchased, are going to ever see those price points again as 250, 280, 300, 350. It's just unheard of. Now the median price point is like what, 650?
Yep.
We're talking
over
about
500.
Yeah, it's tripled.
Yep.
And I think people now, especially like younger people, I don't know if they'll be able to afford a home without having to house hack, having to buy a house with a rental income, an apartment, and getting that extra money to basically balance
Well, that's what
off
a lot
the mortgage.
of people are doing right now. A lot of people, when they're trying to buy a house, they're always asking, can I get a basement to rent out to a friend or a family member? That's already programmed in their head, right? It's just the shift, the paradigm shift these new clients need to get, that you're probably not going to buy your forever home, right off the clip. It's going to be a starter home. You're going to have to house hack to level up later on with you and your family.
Which is interesting because, Queens, Brooklyn, the boroughs are really known for like having multifamilies, right?
Yeah.
Long Island isn't really known for having multifamilies, but now we're seeing purchases
We're seeing it now.
Yeah, well, people are forced to turn their single family homes into a multifamily, to find an apartment to basically subsidize that monthly payment to make it affordable.
The increase in the home values and interest rates by supplemental income.
Rent has gone through the roof as well.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is up.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is up.
And all they're building on Long Island is more rentals. Look at Ronkonkoma. Look at what they're doing in Patchogue. They're building more units out in Patchogue. And look at what they're doing in Mastic. Right?
Mastic has changed completely.
This is the biggest jump that they are doing in the Brookhaven Mastic community by putting millions of dollars to revitalize their main street. Not only are they revitalizing, they're upgrading all the sewer systems, all the electrical systems, the roads. They're putting businesses there. They're putting housing units. They're putting apartments. They're actually making it a main street. Exactly what they did in Patchogue, exactly what they did in Farmingdale, exactly what they did in Ronkonkoma. They're doing it to mastic. What people don't realize is that they have a bad image of mastic from years ago. But you have to look at it present.
Yo, right now, Mastic Homes, Mastic Beach, Shirley, there's going to be $1 million houses. I'm telling you right now.
People are going to look back at this.
People are going to look back at this and be like, no way, that's crazy. There's no way it's going to happen. $1 million homes. That's going to be the price points in Mastic Beach and Shirley.
Let me ask you a question. Are home values up there in Long Beach?
Of course.
And it's a beachfront, right? How about in Hamptons?
But like you said, Mastic
Beach, is a beach
Shirley,
town.
It is, but people don't know Mastic for that.
They will.
Yeah, well,
they're going to learn today.
You know what's crazy though? Right now, Mastic Beach, Shirley, I would say is more in the affordable area as far as like you still find renovated houses for like $480, $470 in that $400 price point, even $525.
I can't tell you how many hardworking families I helped during the COVID time purchase homes in the Mastic Shirley area. And I'm talking about these people work 2-3 jobs. Their income isn't there, but during that time frame, you could still buy a house for $250, $300. And a lot of these houses were renovated houses. They were flips. So a lot of these hardworking families are moving into that area during the COVID time. And again, the community, the cycle of that town is changing. And I'm super excited to see what the next couple of years are going to be. And listen, you guys are trying to invest in investment properties. This is us telling you, buy properties now out there while you still can get them cheap and hold on to them. So like how Kevin said, he purchased a home in 2019 for $300 plus, and now that home, not even 10 years later, doubled in value. So if you're looking to make a smart investment move, that's the smartest move out here in Long Island when it comes to real estate.
Let's touch base on that as far as equity, right? Because a lot of people don't realize that they're sitting on so much equity and they could do a lot with that equity. They could take that equity out, renovate the house, pay down debt. But to me, the smartest thing to do with that equity is to always use it to leverage to buy another property or 2 or 3 or 4.
100%.
Leverage that debt to buy other investments and flip them or turn them into rentals.
I mean, we already touched upon it. People are turning their single-family homes into, rental units so they can, supplement their income to afford that mortgage. Now, if you didn't own any other property, you still had that 300, that home that you purchased for 300 and you had all that equity, you could take that out, buy another investment property, and now you're creating another stream of passive income, which the ultimate goal is to not work until you're dead. Is to create that passive income so you can have a lot more freedom to do what you want, enjoy your life.
All it takes is one property. And
That's
I tell
it.
people all the time, all it takes is one property, and you could use that property as your bank. You leverage that equity, use it to buy something else.
All it takes is one risk taker to change the game for that family.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth. That's it. One risk taker and that family can change the whole game of their generation.
So let's talk about that because I'm seeing changes like, all right, people would say like Gordon Heights, right? You would never imagine price points in Gordon Heights to be $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. There's new construction homes being built. Everything in Long Island is changing. Let's talk about Nassau County, right? You're seeing Levittown, Hicksville, Syosset, Belmore, so many towns where builders are buying houses, paying premium price points. 700, 800,000. I did a video on it. It went freaking viral on Instagram. I got so many hate comments and everything. Like, you're part of the problem. It's your fault. Why these? I'm like, I don't control the prices. This is what the market is demanding. Anyways, these builders are buying houses, knocking them down, and building 1.5, 1.8, $2.5 million homes. It's turning into Queens basically because that's what Queens is known for, is having those high price points. But now you get in Long Island, Nassau County, you get a little bit more of yard space, right? And a
better school district. You got the parks. You got the beaches.
The lifestyle.
You got the lifestyle. You got the easy commute to the city right there. It's like...
But people need to see the trends that are happening right now. And like, I have to do everything I can to just get my first property and then leverage it. Like you said, start building that equity and just start making the right moves for yourself.
That's what they need. Realistically, that's what you need to do. I mean... Think about what you want to accomplish 10, 15, 20 years from now. Do you still want to be working at that same job? Do you want another source of income? What are you looking to do? Because if you're looking to create, again, that generational wealth, You have to start now. You can't start 20 years from now. You need to start now.
Yeah, like I just helped somebody. They same scenario. They purchased a home for about $325. That house is worth like $700,000 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I helped them get a HELOC, line of credit, on their home, and they took out over $200,000. So he can literally buy like 2 properties right now with that $200,000.
Oh yeah,
like from one home. And he was so scared because he was like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to touch my equity. I don't know. Because again, people get in the fear mindset of this could go wrong, that could go wrong. But again, if you never take the risk, then what?
You're going to lose 100% of the chances if you don't take them.
But let's talk about that, because let's just say the market tanks, right? For whatever reason, hypothetically speaking, the market crashes. We're back to 2019 home prices. That equity is now gone. So that equity that was there, it's like monopoly money.
So let's talk about that, because
nobody's talking about that.
If you're not going to sell that home, doesn't matter. If you're renting out that property and the tenants are still paying rent, doesn't matter that the home value dropped. No, because if it goes down, it's going to come up. I mean, look at the home values, like he was saying, back in 09, 08. And how much are those houses worth now? So the people who didn't pull out and stayed in the game, they benefited the most. So unless you're trying to buy that property, make a quick flip, but if you're going to create that passive income, a long hold, then you're good. It doesn't matter what the home value is. It matters how much you're making off that property on a monthly basis.
What changes, like, what do you recommend that a loan officer should start doing? Because in our industry, right, because it's like commissions, a lot of people fail and they quit and they're like, all right, this is too hard. We've seen it in 2023. A lot of agents left the industry. Every time there's a big change in our industry, agents leave because they start to get in that mindset like, oh, this is too hard. I don't want to do it. When what was it? MLS went from one key to Matrix. Everybody's freaking out. I don't want to go into Matrix. I don't want to go. We're in the Matrix. We've been living the Matrix.
That's it.
Deal with it. We've always been in the Matrix. It's just never called the Matrix until now.
You better watch out. The government's listening.
Big Brother's always watching. But it's true. Like everything, people always freak. The NAR settlement.
Nothing in
people
life
were
comes
freaking
easy.
out about everything.
Nothing in life comes easy. So if you think that you're gonna become a mortgage loan originator or a real estate agent and the money's gonna come pouring in, that's not the case, right? That little glimpse you saw during the COVID time, that was a fluke, right? What you should be doing is perfecting your craft, getting the knowledge, going to networking events, and just grinding. Any job you do, you have to work your hardest. If you're a trash man, you got to be the best trash man you could be out there.
Yeah, they got good benefits.
Great benefits, and then you level up, and then you get promotions, and it's the same thing in any career, right? The same thing in our career. You can't just coast. You need to be aggressive. You need to be that top A. What are the other agents, what are the other loan officers not doing that I could be doing to set myself out, set myself apart, right? They got to understand that this is not an easy career to be in. This is not a 9 to 5. It's not Monday through Friday. This is 9 p.m. calls. This is, missing out on quality time with friends and family. This is you grinding when no one else is.
Let's talk about that because, there's a lot of sacrifices to get to a level in the industry and feel like, like I made it, like I'm successful. You have a big team over there, Contour now, but it takes a lot of time. People think it's overnight, and I blame some of the shows that I love, that make
social media. It's social
course.
media. It's the TV. They only want to show you, the glitz and glamour. They don't want to show
the nice cars, the watches,
the fires we have to put out.
It's
10
not
o'clock,
sexy.
11 o'clock in the office at night. Grinding. And I know you bring your whole team into the signature office in the evenings. You guys grind. You guys grind just as much as we do in the patchwork office, right? And that's why we mesh so well, because we understand the work ethic and the value we need to be able to present to our clients to give them the best service we can.
Let's touch base on that because, being a team leader, right, doesn't necessarily mean, all right, my job is now easier. Now you have to basically manage other people, right? You got other people on you, depending on how big that team is, it's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of work.
It's not for everyone.
No. And not everybody has the same why. Like some people are okay with doing 5 deals a year. Some people are like, I can't survive off of 5 deals. I need to be doing 5 deals a month.
And that's okay though.
Yeah.
But for the people
course.
who want to do a deal a month and they're comfortable with that, that's okay. I can't tell you to be a level of success that you just don't want to be. You know, maybe you want to close out 1 deal a month. You're okay coasting and having that freedom with the family. Maybe you want to close 5 deals a month and be able to put your family in a better position because you're the only person with the income coming in, right? Everyone has, you said it, a different why. And being, you know, a branch manager, a team leader, we need to know our team's whys so we can help them propel to that next level and build them up the way that suits them the best.
Yep. And holding them accountable. Accountability is the biggest thing because when you're an entrepreneur, there's nobody saying, get up, you got to go do this, you got to make the calls, you got to go door knock, you got to follow up. And I tell people all the time, like, if you want to get your dollars up, you always got to follow up. That's where the money is. You know, sometimes you may not be able to convert the person the first time, second time, third time, you have to just keep going. Bro, during COVID, I closed deals from like 2016, leads that I was chasing forever. I can show you text messages.
I tell my team that all the time. You see this deal? I started talking to them in 2016. I started talking to them in 2019. Just got them to the closing table.
Follow-up game is strong. So
what's 5 minutes of your time to make a phone call once a month?
Exactly. And I can show you text messages just nonstop, texting people nonstop, no reply, no reply, no reply. And then all of a sudden, they call you because you stayed top of mind.
Yep.
You know, you kept them in your thought and like, all right, I got to reach out to this guy because he's been just calling me every week, every month, every year. You know?
That's it. You're there. You're present. Your face is there. They know you, right? They know that you're stalking them. So if they go buy a house with someone else, you're going to show up at their door being like, why don't you use me?
But that's just the business. It's a lot. It's a lot that people don't see that you have to do to get to a level of where you want to be.
That's it.
And you got to get uncomfortable because, you know, it's
get
like you
comfortable
said,
being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to grow.
Growth and comfort cannot coexist. You know, you got to make sacrifices, like you said. You got to, you know, be able to miss out on certain things and have that mindset. All right, I'm big in something bigger. Yeah, I'm building something bigger than me. So I think agents right now, especially with the change that's come recently, where everybody's like freaking out with the Compass acquiring, I think 1.2.
Tell me about that.
Compass is
what is really going on? Tell everyone out there what's actually going on with Compass because they're about to be like the big dogs apparently on campus. So explain a little bit.
Which is, I mean, look, Compass, it's not really known on Long Island. I mean, I would say in Suffolk County, you know, New York City, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Corcoran's definitely a big player there. I'm not saying they're not a big player here, but I'm saying like agent-wise, I don't really run into too many Compass agents. But now it came out recently that they made an acquisition of what, I think 1.2 or 1.6 billion. Don't quote me, but around that, over $1 billion.
I'm gonna quote you on
And they're
that.
acquiring Corcoran, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, ERA, I believe, and a couple other brokerages. So,
and they're keeping those brokerages with their brokerages' names. So they're not changing everything from Compass from what I hear.
But who's to say that they won't? Think about
Later
it.
on down the line, yeah. But right now, you could be a Century 21. Now Compass bought you, but you're technically still Century 21 or labeled as that underneath the umbrella of Compass.
But think about it, like if and I mean, I could see that move happening, you know, because why wouldn't you want to be the biggest real estate brokerage in the world?
Correct.
You know, that's just a huge power move.
Correct.
Everybody now is Compass agents, but here's the thing, because again, everybody's freaking out, like, oh, you know, this is not what I signed up for, blah, blah. Imagine, it's like the NBA draft, right? You're on one team, then all of a sudden the next day, you're on another team.
Yep.
You got drafted without even knowing.
Well, the great thing about this is I'm interested to see what happens because, like you said, a lot of people don't want to be underneath that umbrella. They don't want to have that big corporate structure. So this is where I think that the small mom and pop brokerages might have a comeback. I think that people are going to come and join, you know, like a Signature or, you know, a small brokerage, you know, because they like the family-oriented, you know, connection with those brokerages instead of a massive conglomerate.
I wouldn't consider Signature a small brokerage.
Bro. They're not small.
Not
by
a small
any means.
brokerage at all.
Not by any means. No.
But like what you're saying,
but compared to Compass,
well, of course. But what I'm saying is like not a franchise
correct
company, because when you're franchise, anything can happen. You know, Signature, Pete and Kathy own all the offices, 20 plus offices.
Yeah.
So
And they do it right.
Yeah, exactly. It's the culture, it's the environment. You know, people want to be with the heavy hitters and they want to compete. Like,
I mean, you were with another brokerage, and then you joined Signature, and we've had that conversation, and you said it was like night and day.
It's not, and look, I left for personal reasons. It really wasn't business. But again, I looked at Signature like, all right, I see all the heavy hitters out here at Signature, right? And to me, it's like, and you and I are similar to the point where we push ourselves to a level that we have to exceed. Like, I'm not content of where I'm at. I have a bigger why, a bigger purpose. I'm going to keep pushing myself to like, all right, I accomplished this. What's next? So when I looked at Signature, I was like, all the heavy hitters are here. Can I compete with them? Can I compete with them? Am I really as good as I say I am? And then when I got here, became a top player.
You went to the major leagues.
Exactly.
That's it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, some people are intimidated by that. They're like, oh no, it's too, I love competition. I think competition is great. I think without competition, the business isn't fun.
Correct.
You need to compete. You need to be sharp. You got to be quick on your feet. You got to learn how to pivot, think outside the box, and just make it happen. Because once you go like from, let's just say, the Astros to the Yankees, right? It's a different league.
Oh, yeah.
Different players, different skills. It's just a bigger conglomerate overall. And it's like, you have to be at that level. You got to be there,
It makes you level up.
Exactly. It forces you to.
Yes.
Only if you have that in you, though.
Correct.
You
and
have to have it in you.
Some people won't make that jump because they don't. They have that fear, the fear of the unknown, right? They don't want to push themselves any more than what they already are. But the people who do are the people who will succeed.
Exactly.
Like yourself, you have that mindset. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to make it work. That's it. It's just I don't have time to second guess, so I don't have time to doubt myself. It's just I got one direction, and I'm going in that direction. That's it. To the top.
You got to have that mindset. The mindset, the why, the burning desire to succeed. And that's with anything, not just in business, in life, sports, anything that you want to accomplish that's great, that hasn't been done or you haven't done, you got to push yourself.
Nobody's telling you to wake up at 5 o'clock and go to the gym every morning.
Well, my son is waking me up. The baby cries.
But you're still up and you're still doing it, right? You're not rolling back over and going to bed?
I was never a morning person. You wake me up in the morning, I'd be cranky, angry, like telling you, leave me the heck alone. Like, I was just not a morning person. But again, my schedule changed. I got a lot busier, kids, more bills, just everything in general, appointments later on in the evenings. I'm like, I have to wake up early.
And we can't slack.
No.
Because we're going to slack, and then our people who depend on us are going to see
example.
that. We got to lead by example. Because if we're slacking, then the people who follow us are going to be slacking. And we don't want that. We want to be the person that they look up to. I want to get to that level. Right? So we got to be the best version of ourselves.
Without a doubt. And again, like I said, the agents who are doing a lot of business is because they understand, like, I can never treat my pipeline like it's full. I just got to continue to work. I'm not looking at the scoreboard. And that's me. I'm not looking at the scoreboard. I'll look at it once the year's over. I'm putting wins on the charts, on the board. But again, I'm just working like nothing is there. Because this business, bro, anything can happen.
You could be top dog one day and then disappear the next. Nobody knows you. So you guys got to keep on leveling up.
Just got to keep on pushing yourself to new levels and just making it happen by any means. As far as like, I feel like, the agents always get like harassed and bombarded by like lenders and like, oh, want to get coffee, you want to get lunch, et cetera, et cetera. What is your outtake on that? And why do you feel like you succeed when other lenders, brokers, et cetera, are struggling?
Now, the most successful real estate agents aren't going to go out and grab a meal or grab coffee with you.
It's no time.
Because, what would you say?
Time.
It's time.
Time is money.
They're too busy. They're too busy being successful. You got to know the people that you want to work with. And again, you got to make sure that they mesh with you. If you're going after an agent or you want to work with a loan officer and they're just not the right fit, instead of be pushing a boulder up the hill the whole time you guys are working with each other, right? You got to find someone that you think that you can mesh well with and that you can work well with, and be consistent. Talk to them, reach out to them, and tell them, listen, I know that you're busy. But I want to work with you. What do we need to do to make it happen? And then if you get that opportunity, you prove it to them, because you're only going to get one opportunity. That's it. right? You fumble, you're done, right? So you got to make sure you're on your A game all the time.
One thing about this business, you got to make sure you have the right partners, the right partnerships, because it's crucial to your business. You know, when we first started working together, I'm like, all right, this is new. Let's see how it's going to go. Bro,
It was 2 weeks later, you're like, this is night and day.
Bro, it's completely changed the game. You know why though? Because a lot of your team had the same mindset as the people on our team, and everybody gets along.
We mesh so well because we're all humble. We're all humble. We all get it. You know, we're all family people. We all have the same goals, the same mindset. You know, we all want to succeed together. Nobody's out to get anyone else's business. We're all working collectively to get to the ultimate goal.
But back to what you said, like you said, having the same core values with somebody that you work with, having things in common, being able to just connect with them is definitely a big factor in their success and your success. Because I met with people before where I'm like, I can make a lot of money with this person, but I know that I'm going to be hitting my head against a wall with this person, every day, every week. And it's like, for what reason? I'm good. Money's not everything.
You don't want to have to worry about the other side of the transaction.
No.
You want to make sure that if I pass you over the ball, you're going to do a touchdown, right? Because essentially, if you're giving me a deal, you're saying, here's my paycheck, Matt. Make sure I get paid. So I'm going to make sure you get paid.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Do you see, because everybody's saying like, oh, the market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. They've been saying this since forever, right?
They've been saying this before COVID. And it's still here. Nothing's crashed.
And before COVID, it was a buyer's market. I mean, I don't know how much lower it would have gotten back then.
The market's not going to crash. The industry is more solid than ever, right? Jerome Powell and his team, because again, Jerome Powell does not control the interest rates. He's the face of it all. He has a large say in it, but there's a whole committee with him, right? They know what they're doing with the rate cuts. Even though we want them all to drop, he knows what he's doing. He's keeping the market safe for us. So something like that doesn't happen again.
And they announced there's going to be a few more cuts this year.
They announced that last December as well, that we were going to have a whole bunch.
We didn't see anything though.
We just saw one.
But now we're seeing it.
We saw one.
I feel like we're going to see a lot more.
I hope.
I really do.
I hope.
And like you said, now the people who are on the fence of like, all right, now it's time for me to sell my house. We're going to see a lot more inventory hit the market.
We're going to see a lot more hope, a lot more, spunk in the game, a lot more people with more pep in their step, right? Like you were talking about those agents who had the COVID run and now they're like, what am I doing? Now they're going to get a little bit more motivation. Interest rates are low, coming down. I'm going to go back out there. I'm going to try to get more business. Same thing as loan officers.
Yeah, I mean, you got to just have the mindset that you're going to make money in any market, whether it's up, down, doesn't matter what's happening in the headlines.
I don't sell rate. That's not something I sell.
Neither do I. Not at all. And because people's circumstances always change.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And that's the business, is people,
You got to know your clientele. You got to know the why. Doesn't matter. The real estate agent's why, the loan officer's why, the client's why. What is the why? What is the why? Why do you want to buy a house? And that's sometimes the questions that people don't ask. What kind of house do you want? What's your price range? What do you look? Why do you want to buy this house? Find out the why, because once you find out what your client really wants, you'll be able to service them a lot better.
And again, that's what I tell my team all the time, because I built my business just door knocking and cold calling, and my three things was always using my winning method, I call it, my 3 W's: why, where, and when. Why do you want to sell? Why do you want to buy? Where do you want to go? And when. Like, those are my 3 main questions I always ask.
Those are good questions.
And once I know those 3, I can guide you the right way and put you in a position of where you need to be in, basically. So again, it's just having the right mindset, having the right skills, and aligning yourself with the right people. I'm seeing a lot of people who got into the business like during COVID come back now. Getting relicensed.
Hope is here.
Getting relicensed. But teams are a big thing now. When I got started, teams weren't as big as they are now.
Oh, I had a strong premonition that after COVID, when the rates went from all the way up, I saw that teams were going to blow up, because all these agents that joined during COVID and were making these sales, but they didn't really have the understanding on how to do so. Now they really need to have a craft. Now they really need to know how to do their job to the utmost ability.
You got to have skills.
You have to have the skills. So a lot of these brokerages, they're not going to have the capacity to be able to train every single individual. So I knew that these teams were going to be more relevant later on after the game of COVID.
And building the right brand, especially in this business, is huge, bro.
Amen to that.
Like real estate and chill. Like when people see the logo, they already know.
They know.
You know what I mean? When they see the team logo, they already know. When they see the contour, they already know.
Yep.
Brand awareness is so big, and social media. What we're doing right now, shooting content, having this episode, this podcast happen, chopping it up into clips, putting it out there to consumers, agents, to educate them, add value, is big. I've gotten so much business from social media. When I first got started and I first started this, people was like, oh, you know, what's the point of a podcast? Then after we did it, I feel like everybody was like, yo, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start a podcast.
But it's all right because you were already 2 steps ahead of the game.
You got to be ahead of the game.
That's it.
You know, you saw a window of opportunity. I'm like, all right, nobody's doing it the way I want to do it, and this is what I'm going to do, and just made it happen. You know, you got to just take the risk. When others don't see it, that's when you got to act.
Amen to that. I was just in Montauk for Signature's retreat.
I was there too.
I remember we hung out a little bit.
Yeah.
But there was, I think, 3 different people who came up to me and be like, hey, you don't know me, but I know you, and I love the content you're producing, and it's really making an impact out there. I'm like, that's crazy. Who are you? But thank you.
But content, man, is completely changed the game, the business. Again, I get leads from.
It's another layer that you need to add to this industry
Yep.
that they don't teach you about.
No.
Right? It's not just selling mortgages, selling homes. It's doing the content to educate people, because now people will Google you. People are going to look you up. The newer generation, they're not just going to take word for it. They're going to look you up. They're going to see, you know, is this guy legit? Is this girl legit? And then they're going to see all the content you're producing, all the educational videos you're making. And they're like, all right, this guy has a little bit of substance behind him.
Having an online presence is a must nowadays for any entrepreneur, not just for real estate. Any business, you have to have an online presence.
You have to have a presence. You have to. Yep.
You have to produce the content. You have to put your name out there, because I feel like nowadays, you know, if you're not online, it doesn't exist. Like you don't exist. Your business doesn't exist.
Correct.
Whatever your accomplishments are never even happen if you don't share them. Like you got to share your wins. I share my wins. I share my losses. I'm very open. You know, but people I meet all the time, like I love the content you produce, the same thing like you. I love your story. I love your background. I love everything that you're doing. You know, how you're doing it all. It's a lot of work, but we make it happen. You don't make excuses.
That's it. No excuses. We don't got time for excuses.
Not at all.
Nope.
What else can you hit us with, man? I know we're ready to wrap this up, but it's definitely been a high energy, a lot of value.
Well, what do you want to talk about? Give me something else.
Anything, bro. The stage is yours.
Stage is mine. I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, listen, this is the first time I'm here, but it won't be the last. So I can tell you I'm going to come with a whole bunch of hot topics next time, so you better be ready.
Definitely, we'll make it happen, bro. I appreciate you coming out. Again,
appreciate you having me.
Where can people reach out to you if they have loan questions, consumers, they want to buy a house, they want to refi, or even agents that are like, all right, what can you add to their business? Because I'll say this, look, anybody can pay for Zillow leads. Anybody can pay for leads in general, right? But it's like, what more are you getting for that?
So I'm going to flip it on you now.
Go ahead.
Because I could talk about what I can do, but why am I going to talk about what I can do when I've worked with you for 2 years and you've seen what I can do and what my team can do?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What kind of value do I add to you and to your team?
A ton of value.
Well, tell them.
A ton of value. Look, you're very similar like me, where we think outside the box, and like you said, we don't make excuses. We always pivot. You know, you come to the team meetings. It's not just about leads. It's about representation, leadership skills. You know, again, as far as like, if we ever have a question, you're right there. Your team is right there. Like the line of communication basically is open, and it's big when you're doing business with anybody, because if you don't have communication, there's no relationship.
You don't have anything.
No.
Don't have anything. And
but as far as marketing, branding, everything, it's there. You know, support, it's there. Like you guys are basically like the reason why you and I work well together is because we want to see our people win. We want to see them succeed.
That's it. It's not about us.
No.
And that's what, when I look at teams and I look at branches and I look at other individuals who are building what we're building, a lot of them, unfortunately, is like, I'm going to eat first and then I'm going to give you guys the rest. And that's not the way we are. We always give to our team, and it's like, don't worry about me. I can get more. I can go out there and I can go hunt.
I love that.
So
yeah. Ooh.
You guys go
hunting.
You guys eat this, and I'm gonna go get some more.
Yeah. Look, last thing, hunting, right? I feel like you got to be a hunter in this business. Like, you can't wait for business to come to you. And I've always preached this. You could go back to all of the episodes. I've always preached you got to be a hunter. You got to be able to be able to not wait for opportunities,
and
but
adapt.
create them. Exactly. Adapt or die. Because again, look, having the ability to know how to cold call, how to door knock, how to just speak to people in general, those are game changers right there. Like, those are old school tactics where you're not just in front of the camera. You're calling the phone, you're picking up, talking to a complete stranger,
Amen.
knowing how to add value and knowing how to hunt that way, door knocking, knowing what to say to people that you just met. Like, those are skills that pay the bills that people don't realize.
Oh, I like that. Those are skills that pay the bills.
It's true.
It's true. It's true. I'm not here to sell you a mortgage. I'm here to add value to you and help you and educate you along the way. I'm not a lender who's just going to throw you in and get you to the finish line without explaining the process, because I want to make sure that you understand and you feel comfortable throughout the whole process. And that's a big key. I can't tell you how many people back in the day I would be refinancing. I'd be asking them questions. I don't know this. My lender never went over that. I don't know this. Like, who did your mortgage? Like, what is this? How do you not know this? Well, it's not your fault. It's the person you worked with's fault, because he or she did not do their job correct. And that's a bad image for our industry, my industry. And that's why myself and my branch, we're changing the way that people view our industry by adding the value to the clientele and our referral partners and educating them along the way.
Without a doubt, man. Yo, again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming out here. I know your schedule's
Appreciate
hectic. We're both busy. But again, we have to make time to educate the people.
That's it.
Elevate the industry.
Here to add value.
Yeah, exactly. Where can people reach out to you, man? Phone number?
Phone number is 631-275-8486. Or for Continual Mortgage Corporation. I own and operate the branch in Patchogue, New York, right here on Long Island. My handle is Maggie Mortgage, 87, I believe. And I think you guys will put the information below, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, flex them a little bit. How many Google reviews do you have?
I know I have over 170 something on Zillow.
All right.
I think Google might be about 50. And I got other platforms with other reviews as well.
So over 200.
Yeah.
All right, you make it happen, bro.
We try.
That's it.
We're making it. There's no trying. It's just it.
Made it to the end of this episode. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe,
Let's
share
go.
this. Let's go. Not the last time you're going to see my boy Matt in the building. Appreciate you coming, bro. Thank you.